All right, welcome my friends to Port Myakka. You know, Myakka was the original Indian name of Lake Okeechobee. Look on some really old maps and you'll see the large body of water labeled as Myakka. And it's very easy to find as you work your way up or down the east side of Lake Okeechobee following 441, our state road. 441, man, what a great road. From Golden Glades Interchange, Miami, all the way up to the Georgia state line. We should drive the entire length of 441 sometime. That would be a nightmare. You know, one time I drove all the way to Orlando for the weekend and I went up 441. That was in the 90s. I can't imagine what it's like now. All right, Port Myakka, like I was trying to say before I began that waffle, very easy to find as you work your way up or down 441 because you access it right by this very, very large bridge that goes over the Okeechobee Waterway Canal. And I don't think this is a lock, but there is a large gate, and I think it's usually left open, but it's access for you to traverse from the lake into the Waterway Canal. This is a nice place to come and just hang out, relax. My friend Doug calls this his church, going to church. Because it's a nice place to come up on the weekends in the morning and just relax, chill, contemplate your existence, get away from whatever. Listen, Mr. Curlbro, we're making a video. You're gonna need to stop talking. Shh. 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 No. Yeah, go away. Go away, you're way too loud. So you can see these markers in the water that gets you lined up to go into this channel. You pass through this very large, complicated sluice gate. Let's move over here to the other side of the sluice gate. And work your way out into that exit of the channel. And now you're on your way to the Okeechobee Waterway canal system, which should lead you out to the Atlantic Ocean. There are frequently alligators in this lake. Don't go playing around by the edge of the water. I see them all the time. I don't see one right now, but it is, you know, middle of the day. Oh, no, there's one. You're not going to probably be able to see him on this wide angle lens, but I see his eyeballs right in the middle. Right in the middle, he's just drifting. So yeah. So don't go messing around by the edge of the water, either in that pond or out here in the grand vastness of Lake Okeechobee. Lots and lots of alligators, don't mess around. If you're on a motorcycle ride and you're circumnavigating Lake Okeechobee, this is almost a must stop. It's almost a required stop. Come on up here. There is a gravelly sort of road, but it's very easy for anybody who's been riding their motorcycle more than a month. I was saying earlier when we were at Canal Point that the water level seems low, and that is borne out by this island right offshore here. That's about 50 feet, 100 feet offshore. And frequently, the only thing you can see of that island is the little shrub tree that's on it. But now you can see quite a lot of it with a bit of vegetation growing on it. So the lake level is down. I could look, when I get back to the car, maybe I'll pull up my phone and we'll look it up and see what is the Okeechobee water level. I'm predicting it's probably low, like around 14 feet or something right now. There's also a really neat hiking trail through the woods. You just go on the east side of that bridge, underneath the bridge, and park up, and there's a really cool little hiking trail down that way. Maybe we should go walk that sometime and do a separate trip out there. That'd be a lot of fun, especially on a day with less bugs. You know what I need to get is I'm carrying around my desk-mounted Thermacell. You guys know I love Thermacell, and it keeps the bugs away. I need to get one of those little portable ones that's meant to attach like onto the strap of a backpack or something. That'd be perfect, because it's not windy out here today. slight breeze, but I'd be getting eaten up right now by the no-see-ums or gnats or whatever you call them if I didn't have my Thermacell Magic with me. All right, goodbye, Mr. Gator. We are going to take a little walk. Where are we going next? Let me put you down here. Let me put you down and let's take a peek and see a couple things. Okay, where are we going next? This was Port Myakka. Oh yeah, there's something called Nubbin Slough boat launch. I've never been to that. I want to see what that's all about. A boat launch, boat ramp, not very far from here. And then after that, we're going up to the town of Okeechobee at the north end of Lake Okeechobee in Okeechobee County. It's actually a real town, city, village with civilization, things like a Wawa, Dunkin' Donuts, things like that. So we'll head up there. It's after 1 o'clock and I haven't had lunch, so we'll see if we can find, man, if they got a Publix. Let's see if they got a Publix. They might have a Publix. If they don't have a Publix in Okeechobee, then what kind of town is it? And then after that, we'll begin our traverse down the west side of the lake. We will have completed 50% of the trip around the lake. And you can drive around the lake in a couple hours or so. But I keep stopping and talking to you, which is really slowing me down, which is great because that was the point of this entire drive and trip, is to show you cool stuff. So, okay, that's right. I was going to look up the Lake Okeechobee elevation. Lake Okeechobee level. What did I predict? 13, 14 feet, something like that. Current Lake Okeechobee water level, according to army.mil, is 11 feet. Woo. 11 feet. That's not 11 feet deep. That's 11 feet above sea level. So, all right, we are going to head on up. Let's go find that Nubbin Slough, see what that's all about, and then move on and get some lunch. All right, this has been Port Myakka. Got a text from my dad. What's he asking me? He was asking me about G-Shock watches. I told him, go watch my video. Does the orange square on the face of your watch serve a purpose, or is it part of the vintage decoration? Let's answer that real quick for him. If you mean the red pinstripe around the outside, comma, it's just aesthetics. All right, let's go. Stop waffling. All right, so this is Nubbin Slough. I've never been here. A slough, if you don't know, is a marshy, watery, wetland type area. That's kind of what this is. As we talked about earlier, the water level is quite low. You can see a lot of wildlife animal across there. I am not going walking out into that area. There's snakes and gators, and I'm not going to have any part of that. It's a very sandy parking area here, and there is a boat ramp, but there's no picnic tables, there's no shelters. I think this area is more about preserving the wildlife and managing the water than it is providing a comfy spot for people. But hey, now we've been here. If I needed a place to pull in and pull off on the road, this would do. But there are definitely better places to pull over and relax if that's what you're looking for. Look at that gator. So there is over there. He was over here.
Wow, there's a couple of them, it looks like. I took my son when he's 18 now, but when he was this big, we would come and fish and we were by ourselves. I'm like, you know what, if we catch something, I'm not going to want you reeling in. I
All
like
right.
that.
Cool. See you guys later. All right, let's get some lunch. I used to hate the check yourself out place, but now it's the only way to go. And I get mad when there's a Publix that doesn't have one.